You guys, we're back. Sean, Javon, all 52 podcasts. We got two shows this week. NFL draft tomorrow, NBA baseball today. Javon, what's going on, man?
Not much. Listen, NBA, y'all had it real good for the first week or two of the playoffs in terms of the TV schedule. Y'all stuck to the regular season TV schedule. It was easy to find the games. I was just fine. Now it's Tuesday, and I'm expecting two games on NBC. And in reality, it's two games on ESPN and one on NBC tonight. Come on, man. This is when the fans are going to start complaining. Stick to the regular season schedule. It was just fine. We had Monday, 3 games on NBC.
Yep.
Tuesday, 3 games on NBC. Wednesday, 2 on ESPN. Thursday and Friday, 3 games each on Prime. Saturday afternoon was Prime. Saturday night was ABC. Sunday afternoon was ABC doubleheader. Sunday night was an NBC doubleheader. I knew where to find the games. I was happy. I'm a busy man. I don't like having to go to the ESPN app to see which channel the games are on, man. I
That's what I
don't.
do.
Come on, let's get back to some regularity.
Yeah, that's exactly what I do. I go. Last year it was just on TNT and ESPN. That's where the games were. Just two places. That was so much easier. It's a
And for the
little.
most part, they was really letting TNT do the whole week, and
Yes.
ESPN was doing the weekend.
Yes. But now it's just all. The only thing I do like, I'm kind of surprised I'm going to say this, is the streaming aspect of it. I know you said TNT had the max and the ESPN has its own streaming, but I have Peacock and I have Prime. I can't lie. So Peacock, my girl's sister gives me it, and everybody has Prime. So I like that part of it because it's convenient for myself, and we're always thinking about ourselves. But I really don't like the mismatch. And I gotta be real. I don't really love the coverage of the NBC announcers. I don't love them. I like Tarico and Miller. Ego's all right. Grant, I think Grant's whatever. I don't know. I just always think Grant's whatever, to be honest with you. But I'm just not in love with it. I really like the Amazon announcers better. It's kind of like how I like TNT better as a
They took
team.
most of TNT's guys. Understandable. I think
Yeah,
Greg Hill and
yeah.
Reggie Miller are the only ones who went over to NBC.
Yeah. No, I get. But I don't know. Just maybe we got 10 more years of this. So what am I gonna? I can't keep calling. I gotta get used to it. They're not. They got $11 billion. They ain't worried about Sean Bryson.
I think it's been fine. My complaint is with the fans with so much hate for inside the NBA again. Like, okay, yeah, Amazon, they can be the happy-go-lucky, Udonis Haslam. Yeah, of course he's going to, hey, DeAndre, I want you to know you're still that guy. It's Udonis Haslam. He can't criticize DeAndre Ayton the way Shaquille O'Neal with Charles Barkley can. What do y'all? Why don't we want to hear all-time greats be all-time greats?
I don't know what the criticism. The only criticism I have inside
I got one criticism.
Go ahead.
Shaq. At some point,
Rudy.
You got to give Rudy his credit.
Absolutely.
We're going to talk about it in a minute.
We're going to talk about that.
But at some point, I know you're the president of the Big Man Alliance. Jokic is a part of it. Rudy isn't. Jokic got to start getting some criticism that I'm going to dive into later. Got to give Rudy some of his credit. That's
absolutely. You can't hold grudges, Shaq. It doesn't. And when you watch the first, we'll talk about it. Rudy deserves credit. Let's call a spade a spade. Rudy deserves credit about that. But I don't know the criticism inside NBA. The only thing I don't like the inconsistent times it comes on. I'm confused about that. That's the only thing. But I do think that the networks have gotten the teams right, the halftime teams or the NBC. They've all hit all home runs, way better than we have on ESPN when it's not inside the NBA. ESPN's team is 4th on that list. But I think Amazon, NBC has a great job of who they got for the team.
Yeah. Listen, since Turner is not using inside the NBA for college basketball, ESPN just strike a deal to get them all year long. We don't want to see Malika Andrews, Kendrick Perkins,
No.
Brian Windhorst, and whoever the fourth's going to be. Probably Iman Shumpert with with Mike Malone leaving.
No.
Pay for inside all season, please.
Absolutely. And Charles, do not complain about working too much. Just don't do the other shows.
It ain't much. They do.
It ain't much. It ain't much at
they
all.
do Wednesday. Shoot. During college football and NFL, they only do Wednesday and Friday.
Yeah, that's it. Like 2 days a week. Like, wasn't he do 2 days a week at TNT?
Or Wednesday and Thursday, I mean. Yeah. And TNT was doing 2 days before they started bringing in Candace Parker and all of them to do the Tuesday. I mean, the Tuesday show.
Tuesday show, yeah. So we need them all year.
Yeah, just don't go on First Take, Charles. We don't watch you on First Take. We don't watch First Take. You good. Don't go on NBA Today. Let Kenny Smith do that if he wants to.
Exactly. So I think if they strike a deal, then we'll be all in a bit work. And I can't lie. The numbers, men lie, women lie, numbers don't. The numbers are up this year. I got to give the NBA credit.
That might be why ESPN wants the CFP to expand to 16 games, because that's probably where they'll go ahead and give TNT another game or two of the playoff. And that will be the return for getting inside all season.
Oh, that's a good trade-off. Well, I bet TNT would rather have the NBA, but I still think having 2 CFP games is pretty good.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, Sean. Well, Houston, we have a problem. The Houston Rockets failed the Los Angeles Lakers 3-1, lost the first 3 games of the series. They have been without Kevin Durant for 2 games this series. They're 1-1 in such games. Apparently, he hasn't been around the team, communicating with the team. No one really knows what's going on with him. Another chapter in the book of Kevin Durant.
Not surprised the way he's going out. Not saying he's leaving this year, but like the last few years, man, it's just like, first of all, I don't know about anyone else. The last few years have Kevin Durant's teams perform has solidified. I put Steph Curry above him. I know that was our whole argument, but
and that was, to me, that was never an argument, because if you know basketball, Sean, and you actually watched the Warriors instead of just checking the box score, you saw Steph was getting double teamed. No one was helping off of Clay. It left Kevin Durant 1-on-1.
Yeah.
Teams preferred to let KD go 1-on-1 rather than let Steph get off. When you're an all-time great, 1-on-1 is not good enough. That is a bailout. So, yeah, you're going to get your numbers. Of course, you're going to like the better scorer, because Steph made life that much easier for you. He was never better than Steph. And for some reason, we just choose to neglect that teams were preferring to lose to Kevin Durant than to lose to Stephen Curry. But whatever.
I think the argument was that KD won those 2 finals MVPs, but I'm going to be real. Do I think the Warriors beat the Cavs both times in the finals without Kevin Durant? I do not, but it doesn't negate the fact that regardless, Steph won that title against Boston, dominant fashion. I have him over Kevin Durant, and that's another conversation. But I just feel like Houston has been one of the biggest disappointments in the NBA this year. A few things I'm going to criticize real quick. Kevin Durant's leadership is number 1. 2, offensive identity built around just offensive rebounding everybody to death is not sustainable to win an NBA championship in this day and age. Back in the 90s, maybe early 2000s, that could work. Not this day and age. 3, Ime a few times this year. The lack of accountability. Hey, Ime, I gotta call you. I'll call you out. You was not a great offensive scheme strategist in Boston, and you took in that to Houston. There's no creativity on the offense. I hate to see how they run the offense in Houston. And Amen Thompson had to take the step. I thought he was gonna have a better year. I put him in the Evan Mobley, Ben Carroll, even though Ben Carroll was having a good postseason, I can't lie. Category about taking the step. And they lost their grit. Dylan Brooks, hats off. I know the Suns got swept, but he was the grit and grind of that team. So just a few big things about Houston. I'm really confused of what they are. You losing to a Lakers team that is LeBron James, who, another tip of my cap, looks amazing. Got these guys playing out their mind. Just very disappointing. Very disappointing. Just those categories. I don't know how Houston fixes it unless you go get Giannis, and I don't know, do I want a team with Giannis and Kevin Durant? I don't know. I'm just very disappointed. Houston's probably my biggest disappointment because I had them as the third best team in the well, actually, I had them at maybe the second best team in the West coming into this year. And I just don't get it. And the front office, you should have got a. I like Reed Shepherd. That's my guy. But man, he can't defend. And he's not a traditional point guard. You should have got a point guard at the deadline.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking to myself the other night. The commentators, whoever's covering the game, each of them just keep harping on the absence of Fred VanVleet. Well, wasn't Amin Thompson supposed to be your point guard? Y'all want to keep drafting all these athletes, then they need to be good for something. You want to keep drafting these 40-inch vertical, 4.5, 40-yard dash, no jump shot guys, and they need to contribute something. Because I'll tell you what, Asar Thompson ain't contributing a damn thing for Detroit right now, and they're about to get upset by an 8 seed. And Amin Thompson is not what the Rockets need. You know, Ime Udoka, most of your playing career was spent with the Spurs. You don't have an offense? What's going on?
Yeah.
Reed Shepherd can't defend. Tari Eason's jumper is broke. Jabari Smith I thought Kevin Durant being his mentor was supposed to make him who he was at Auburn, but hell, that's asking Kevin Durant to be a leader, and he's never been that. Yo, and Şengün's defense is terrible. Yo, let's keep it simple. No one likes you, Kevin Durant. Go home.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to.
Go and Wanda. I don't want to hear no. Oh man, my son was bullied. Shut the hell up. When all I'm gonna say is when she was getting on First Take back in the day, that right there in a nutshell displayed a huge problem in the Black community. It's too many moms in the projects raising their sons like their boyfriends instead of their sons.
Damn.
And they can do no wrong.
Damn.
And they grow up to be Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
And you're a behavioral therapist. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. And I feel like he's been babied his whole life. So you could definitely tell like some of his antics and how he's very moody for a superstar. He's the number one reason. That's why I started off. He's the number one reason.
For a grown ass man.
Yeah, he's 37, 38 years old. Like, and you could tell ever since the All-Star break and the whole burner account thing came out, that team's never been the same.
And they don't rock with you.
They don't rock with you. Yeah. So I don't think it makes sense.
Like, but you're a grown man, say it with your chest.
Exactly. And you're a superstar. You one of the elite superstars in the league. I think Kevin Durant, I don't know. I heard this on X, and you know, a lot of people are experts on X. Would they move off of Kevin Durant and trade him this offseason? Because
if you do that, you gotta understand you got a lot of changes you need to make, though. Like, you need him going for locker room purposes. I told you before the season started, Sean, trade Şengün in something for Giannis because Şengün cannot be your starting center on a championship team, and his jumper's too inconsistent to be a power forward.
Mm-hmm.
And Houston and Detroit need to talk to the Thompson twins. Y'all ever going to develop a jumper? It's not going to happen, by the way. That's one of the biggest myths in the world. Jump shot development. Super athletes do not develop jumpers. And these cats didn't go to college either. They went to overtime elite, where you get no basketball development.
Mm-hmm.
It's never going to happen. They've been running and jumping by people their whole lives and getting by with it. They're not going to change anything. You see Ben Simmons.
Yeah.
Everybody keeps saying, oh, no. Look at Jaylen Brown. Who else? And Jaylen Brown ain't. Jaylen Brown's bouncy. And he's agile. But he ain't super athlete.
I would have to disagree in this aspect. LeBron James could not shoot a lick come out of high school.
How long did it take LeBron for his jump shot to finally be some type of respectable?
Miami.
Because
Miami.
I'll say this. His mid-range his first stint in Cleveland was always fine. I think we over-exaggerate a little bit with LeBron's jumper. He had a mid-range game that first run in Cleveland. And when he got hot from there, his three ball would start falling. Where he would mess up is if he tried to start off with the three ball instead of getting himself in a rhythm first.
The only thing, Javon, is they lost. They wouldn't have beat the Spurs anyways. But the whole plan in the finals of 2007 was pack the paint and LeBron shoot the basketball.
Yeah, don't let him catch his rhythm first. Make him shoot first. Yeah, that's what his issue was. He was a rhythm shooter, but he was not as terrible as we remember. He was a rhythm shooter.
That was the biggest flaw of his game coming out.
It was the biggest flaw.
Okay.
But come on. I mean, when you're a top 5 player of all time, your biggest flaw is going to be exaggerated. Kobe Bryant's biggest flaw was his field goal percentage, which I quite frankly don't give a damn about. You're averaging 28 and you shooting 44%. That's fine by me as a 2 guard. We need to get back to that. And that's another topic I'm going to touch on when we get to Jokic, because all this field goal percentage watching and all this passing, LeBron, it's not good. You're bailing teams out. But all right, y'all know so much basketball.
Yeah. So what? Damn. Are we breaking up the Rockets? They just got out of a league, though. Wow. Okay.
It's their path forward for this team.
So you keep Thompson, you keep Eason, you keep Shepherd, and you go get Giannis. What's that leave you in the West? Ime has to go get offensive coordinator.
Eason ain't enough, by the way. You're gonna need another small forward. Eason's not enough, and he's shown it. But yeah, Thompson, Shepherd, but Thompson don't want to be. Does Thompson want to be your point guard? Because if not, he got to go.
This is tough because I think the easy path is I will keep Durant though, and I would go get rid of Şengün, Eason, and maybe I would put Shepherd in the deal and go get Giannis, and then have Ime go get an offensive coordinator. I think that's the easiest way, and you can contend in the Western Conference with that team. I will actually
give up 3 starters.
Giannis
who can't play 30 games.
I was just gonna take that back. I'm giving up Şengün, and you can have your combination of you can't have Smith and you can't have Thompson. So you can have Shepherd, Eason. Yeah, I'm giving Shepherd and Eason and Şengün for him in the first round.
I'm keeping Shepherd because I need a jump shooter desperately in Houston. You can have Eason, you can have Şengün, and you can have one of these first round picks I've gathered. And that's it.
And that's it. All right, I got that. They have no shooting. And that's one of the biggest problems. If this is the offseason, I got to be real. And if you add Giannis, you have even less shooting. The key for Houston to take the step is what Stephon Castle did this year, where Thompson is the key. Thompson is the key for the Rockets to be in that category with San Antonio and OKC. He needs to develop, because if he developed to the guy I thought he would be, a borderline all-star this year, I'm okay with keeping Şengün. But if you're depending on Şengün to be the number 1 option, and I hate his style of basketball, by the way, but it's effective in his way, so I can't knock it. But I do think that Thompson's the key to their ceiling. KD needs another guy, and Şengün's game is not. He could have big moments. He set opening night the other night against the Lakers. He got big moments, but it's not consistent enough. That's why I would go get Giannis. And the key for them is if Thompson takes that next step with those 2 guys, then Houston can be in that conversation. But if he doesn't, and even defensively, he wasn't good. His brother was way better defensively than him this year. So, did he make all defensive team this year? I don't think he did.
I don't think so.
No. So I just think I don't know. Houston, I think a lot of their problems we solve though too if Ime gets an offensive coordinator. Like Ime cannot coach defense. Like it's not offense. It's bad. It was stale in Boston. It's even still, at least have an identity to something. At least one thing I respect about Missoula ball, they have an identity to something. Stick to something. A lot of these teams in the league don't stick to nothing. They just want to pick and roll at the top of the key and trying to figure it out from there. Have some identity, and Houston has to figure that out.
And you know what? Speaking of, and we were talking about stacking inside the NBA earlier. He finally explained his stance on coaching. And it made perfect sense. He's like, no, my stance is specific to today's players and today's teams when it comes to coaching. If everybody's out here running the same stuff, which they are,
yes,
the coach don't matter that much. I'm like, you know what, Shaq? I see where you're coming from. Because what's the coach adding at this point?
nothing.
Y'all run the same thing. What is he bringing? A defensive scheme, rotations, and timeout management. All right, that's cool. But offensively, yeah, coach don't matter. If everybody out here running the same stuff, I ain't mad at you, Shaq. I understand when you let people explain their thought process, you start to really understand some stuff.
I have to give credit to this. So I went to Phoenix. I saw the game live, and it's totally different when you watch a game live sometimes than when you like watch it on the broadcast.
Yeah.
And so I give Golden State credit for this. They again, not everybody's gonna have Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. I get that, but they're constantly having movement and setting back picks and stuff like that. NBA teams could copy that. Like you don't have to have the greatest shooters of all time or top 5 greatest shooters of all time to run an offense that's more complex. And I was watching Phoenix offense. It was spread them out and pick and roll and get to your spot, right? It was no motion, nothing. And I actually made me realize, I was like, damn, Golden State won 4 titles. And again, not everybody's going to have those guys, but you could form the offense.
I keep saying that everybody wanted to go to these analytics. So we playing like Golden State? No, y'all aren't.
No.
Golden State played actual basketball. They
yes.
be able to shoot. So
exactly.
They're extending their zoom actions and their flare screens and their Iversons from the long 2 to the 3. That's all they did. They just took actual offense and brought it out an extra 2-3 feet. That's it. Y'all out here running high pick and roll and just get up as many threes as possible. That's not the Golden State way.
High pick and roll, spread
but we let all these white boys from Silicon Valley that can't shoot a layup get involved in the game and convince you that sports are decided by spreadsheets, literal Excel spreadsheets. And now here we are.
Yeah, it's bad for the game. The game is boring that way. And I hate it. When I watch it, I'm like, you have a little bit of offense. And that's why I agree with you 100%. I didn't even think about Ime. You were under Pop. There's no reason your offense should look like that.
And speaking of Steve Kerr, that's why I say it. Look, you go watch a Warriors game. You will see it's nothing but Phil's triangle.
Yeah.
And Pop's pass to a space offense combined. That's it.
That's it. Simple as that. It could be run. It could be done by other teams. It could, again, not the clip that Golden State had, but it could be run. And that's my thing. If I look at things this way, if this is successful, why wouldn't I just run the same thing? I don't understand why teams do it. And
people wonder why I watch college basketball. And when I watch college, I don't watch Alabama. If I want to watch Alabama, I'll turn on the NBA.
Sure, very similar styles. Very similar styles.
You said in the group chat the other day you saw Bob Myers next to Daryl Morey. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Josh Harris, make that switch. Number one.
Yeah.
Daryl Morey don't need another NBA job. He can go down to Bama and be Nate Oates' GM. That's where he belongs.
Yeah. Yeah. Bob Myers, very cozy with Josh Harris and Pars. Definitely. If I'm Josh Harris, if I'm having the guy who got 4 titles. I already seen what you've done. I've given you ample opportunities, Daryl. He's the next president of operations in Philadelphia. Simple as that.
All right, Sean, in your neck of the woods, the Boston Red Sox have cleaned house. Speaking of Boston, I got to catch up with my boy Howard Bryant. What was that last week? Week before? One of them. Always great to see Howard.
Loved his podcast with all the smoke baseball the other day. I watched the whole thing. Amazing.
Sean, he's got some stuff coming up.
Oh, does he? Is he working with that network?
Yep.
Okay. He was amazing. Some of his stories about Griffey, liking him and stuff in the Stillwater era and baseball. I watched the whole thing. I was like,
it was great.
I forgot to strike. That's exactly like baseball. You can't mess it up this time. Everything he was saying, genius. I'm glad he's back on the platform.
Yeah. So I sounds like, hey man, on smoke baseball has been
It's been good.
He's like
Kenny
a
Lofton.
pleasant surprise. I said, yeah, I didn't think Matt Barnes was that much of a baseball fan. Matt Barnes is great talking baseball.
I saw the Kenny Loft. I went down a rabbit hole because I was just chilling
I
watching
saw
it.
the Eric Davis one.
Yeah.
Nick
Eric
Switcher's pretty good.
Yeah. They got one. They got something over there. I love it. Like they had Bonds on there talking about Otani and those. I give them a lot of credit. That's a good. And then when I said Brian working there, I was like, oh shoot, they got something. They got something there.
You know, hate to be that guy, but Matt Barnes without Steven Jackson.
Go on.
Way back. Listen. Stat. I don't know. That brother's lost cause to me. Love him as a ball player. Heart's in the right place sometimes. I don't know, but yeah, Matt without Stat is just fine with me.
Don't want to be divisive, but Matt is the star of those guys. I can't front. Matt will have a long career and do whatever he wants in this. But I love the baseball aspect. All right, we've gotten the Red Sox. Very surprising. When I was in Arizona, one of my friends, she's a big Red Sox fan. We were just talking about the games. Then I come back. The Yankees sweep them. Then I see they fired Cora. First of all, this is my only thing. And I don't get how people do this, but whatever. Whoever gets cozier to the owner has the owner's voice, right? So it's ear. So Breslow is the president or whatever the case may be. He's close to the owner. You fire Cora once, bring him back, and then there's a dispute between the general manager, the president, and him. And you choose the president side. That doesn't make sense to me because Cora's one of the best managers. If I was Cora, I'm like, I'm chilling. The Mets job might be open. The Phillies job might be open. He's going to bounce back.
The Phillies job ain't a mic. That is open.
It's definitely going to be open. Houston, if they, you know what I mean? There's so many jobs. He's going to be good. He's good. Him and his coaching staff are good. I just didn't get what has Breslow done to you put your trust in him?
Because we keep saying he needs to surround that rotation with some bats.
Yes.
He still hasn't done it. We were fine with losing Bogarts because him and Devers, we're fine losing both of them because they both were just the worst combination on the left side of second base that I've ever seen. But what did you do to replace him?
Exactly.
You brought up a great point. That seems to be a real baseball thing.
Yes.
Whoever has the owner's ear, you know what? Where I come from, whoever dick rides the owner the most.
Exactly. That's what it is.
Gets to keep their job.
Makes no sense.
Yeah, it's the same issue in Baltimore right now. I don't know how you let Elias fire Hyde and you don't fire Elias himself. Not only do you not fire Elias, you give him more power, you let him promote more of his idiot buddies, and you let him run the media that's critical of him out of 10.
Makes no sense. And no, I don't get this. And this is the worst. And what happened when in Buffalo to Bean with the owner and they got rid of what's his name, McDermott. Listen, I don't get this. I've seen when I watched the last thing, I still don't get this. Jerry Reinsdorf chose Jerry Krause over Phil Jackson. That don't make sense to me. Alex Cora has won, and everybody knows he's one of the best managers in baseball. You chose him, this guy who hasn't done anything, over this guy. I never would do that. I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna let him go. For example, in Minnesota, I was never mad that they kept KOC and fired the general manager. KOC has shown me something. I'm gonna take KOC over the general manager. The general manager hasn't drafted well.
So I'm gonna come to the defense of the brother. He wasn't calling the shots, apparently.
Oh, okay. Then that's different. I thought he was calling the shots. That's completely different.
He came out this weekend because he's actually active on Twitter.
Okay.
And there was something Minnesota had going on that the fans weren't happy about. And he's like, I told you I wasn't calling the shots. So
okay. All right, then that's different. That's different.
Laying off the same thing. We gotta lay off Pat Riley because apparently the worst kept secret, if you live in Miami, is that Mickey Arrison's son has been running the show for the last few years. And Pat hasn't had the final say.
Well, I would say this. In that case, because I was watching Jerry Jones's thing on that. First of all, that Jerry Jones documentary with the Cowboys was really good, amazing. I recommend you watching it. If I own the team and Nicky Harrison's son is the guy with his dad, I'm gonna have final say. Like you could have the decision, but you got to bring it to me, and I'd be like, okay. I don't. If you own the team, Javon, it makes sense.
You right, but y'all harming the team. So y'all gonna make that other side of Giant list with the Cowboys. So you go ahead.
But that's been the case. That's been the case since '95. Mickey's on the team since 1995.
No.
Oh, his son got involved. His son got involved.
His son has gotten involved and has been overruling some of Pat's desires and decisions that have impacted this team for the worse.
But I still don't. The son owns the team.
You right? Hey, all I'm saying is blame him. Then don't blame Pat anymore. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
But I was on Pat's side when that report came out, and then Pat has his press conference, and he lost me again.
Yes,
he's like, I wouldn't trade Bam Adebayo unless it was for Wemby and 8 first. But
so that no, Pat's.
I'm gonna go ahead and steal a line from a brother that's down 1-3 right now. I would trade Bam Adebayo for a box of crumble cookies.
I get it. I get it. No, Pat. No one can tell me Pat doesn't have a significant say. Does he have final say? No. But saying stuff like that, I was going to say, I watched the whole press conference. I love Pat's press conference.
What I'm saying, though, is it would explain to me why we hear their names for each free agent. And we hear a deal was almost done. And then it didn't get done. To me, it says Pat's trying to get these guys. And Mickey's son comes in at the last minute. Nah, we ain't doing it.
Do you think, for example, we use the Patriots, probably the best dynasty we've seen in sports in the last 20 years. Definitely the best dynasty. Do you think it makes sense to give one power, Bill Belichick, the power over a whole organization? I don't think that makes sense because when it's time to give it to Brady,
everything needs checks and balances.
Yeah, I would have been like, "Yo, no."
But when the checks and balances are bad, is when you get these situations.
Okay, no, I agree. But if I own a team, I'm not saying I want to let you do your job, but it's got to make sense. And again, I see what you're saying, but Pat lost me too when he started. I watched the whole thing. I'm like, Bam is. That guy made a great point. The announcer, Atlanta, Indiana, Toronto traded their best player, and they were able to. He was like, "Nah, but they're not Bam." And I'm thinking, who is Bam?
Who is? First of all, he ain't Bam anymore. He back to his government, Idris. Who is Idris Adebayo?
Who is he? I don't get it. I didn't understand that comment. I'm like, what's Pat talking about? It don't make no sense. But my point is, Cora does more than Breslow. Cora is better at his job than what he is at his job. He should still be the general manager. To be the manager, I would have fired the general manager. Simple as that.
Simple as that.
Simple as that. There's no other argument about it. Cora has a World Series ring. He's a university recognized as a top 5 manager in baseball. Players love him. They see the Red Sox players came out was like, yo, that didn't make sense. Some of those guys came out and said it like, yo, what do we? I talked to some of my people back home. They were like, yo, why were you firing him? It's 10-17 in April. That didn't make no sense.
And they came out the next day, and the same thing the Orioles did to them Friday night, they did to the Orioles Saturday morning. Which, by the way, I'm sitting here talking to my homeboys because they're like, yo, the Orioles hit 3 home runs in the first inning. I'm like, huh? I look, we whooping them. I'm like, we're gonna get work tomorrow. Just wait. Bat's gonna go cold. We gonna get worked.
And
they turned around and did the exact same thing to us that we did to them.
It works that way sometimes.
And won the series. And then they beat Toronto 5-0 last night. So maybe this lit a spark under the players. Maybe that's going to be the benefit. But I mean, like you said, I'm not a fan of losing Cora. And I mean, at some point, we got to start blaming players for their performance also. Roman Anthony's batting .218. Ain't he supposed to be the second coming?
Roman didn't look good in the WBC either.
No, Trevor Story's batting .191. Jaron Durant's batting .179. At some point, players got to start playing. I'm not getting that. I don't know, man. And then I just look at the rest of the team. Is Marcelo Mayer the prospect we thought he was going to be? He's solid, but is he great? No. You're a Yankee fan. Do you want to hear the name Isaiah Kiner for Leffer?
Oh, I don't. He's done nothing. Who is? Okay. Yeah, he's done nothing.
William Abreu, not too great. I think Yoshida is on the IL right now. I could be wrong. I don't know what's special about Cedane Rafaela. He's having a solid batting average season. I don't see anything in that batting lineup that I'm afraid of.
I was this girl Emily, shout out to Emily. She's a huge Red Sox fan, and when we were talking in Arizona, she was like, "My only concern, and I know sports, we know sports, is she's like the ownership. I don't understand why ownership doesn't invest into the team." And so when you say those names of those guys, besides Anthony, no one really jumps off the table to you. Why are you not invested? So you want to blame Cora or not even Breslau? Yeah, well, you guys are the Boston Red Sox. You won 4 World Series titles since 2000. You could, and you're in a big market, baseball market. You're in one of the top 5 markets in baseball.
Sports city in America,
and you don't spend no money. No, it's been a calling for a little bit on the low about John Henry selling the team. I don't know if after those 4 World Series he's gotten complacent. Like, I got you guys 4. I don't need to do anything else. But it doesn't make sense. You run the Red Sox like they're a mid-market team. That doesn't make sense to anyone. Like, they should always be in the top 5 in payroll.
He runs the Red Sox like they're the Kansas City Royals.
Yo, some of these owners, man, and the Portland Trailblazers owner, what he's doing now. Come on, man.
If you can't afford a team, don't buy
them. You have the Carolina Hurricanes. It's not NHL.
2-way players can't trap. Like, damn.
I was in Phoenix. They had the shirts for a playing game. You know what I'm saying? Like, I saw the new. You could walk from the stadium. You see the new practice facilities for the WNBA. They're building the right way with it. Shout out to Ishby on them. But you come and you cut and don't buy the team. Say, like, what are you talking? This is I don't know the revenue sharing in the NHL, so I don't want to talk. But in the NBA, cutting all that stuff, you still have to share the pot with 30 other teams. So what are you doing? It's not like it's going to make you, that puts money in your pocket. That doesn't do anything. You just, I don't see the point of that. I was like, oh, and then you want to hire an NBA coach for $1 million? If I'm Dame and any of those guys, Drew, I want to get out of there ASAP if this stuff is true. ASAP.
Because it's going to go downhill.
Yeah, horrible.
All right, Sean, take me to the Rockies.
All right, so the Nuggets. I have the Nuggets been bailed out. DiVincenzo's out with an Achilles, tough injury. Anthony Edwards is out for a couple of weeks with a knee. The Wolves are up 3-2 now after last night. Will the Nuggets come back and win this series? What's your thoughts?
No. Now I get to talk about Nikola Jokic. So, lazy on defense. You keep doing this wait for the double team stuff on offense. Passing. And then when you try to get your shot, you can't get anything to fall because you just spent the whole game passing the ball, bailing other teams out. When are we going to start being critical of Nikola Jokic? If I'm as hard as I am on Embiid, it's time to do that same thing to Jokic. Stop that passing crap. Do you not know that when you are the best player on a team, teams want to get the ball out of your hand?
Mm-hmm.
You averaging a triple-double is not what your team needs. Your team needs 30, 15, and 5 Jokic.
Oof.
Not 25, 13, and 12. When the Spurs were hot, what were teams doing? We want to turn Tony Parker into a patch. We want him to be a point guard. We don't want him to go into his combo guard mode. Shaq used to say it all the time. He said, man, when I was in Phoenix, it was real simple. We wanted Tony Parker to have 20 and 12. Because if he had 28 and 7, the Spurs were unstoppable.
Yep.
That's I remember a couple months ago, my brother, one of my homeboys, finally was able to just shut up and listen to me about how I feel about LeBron James. Now I broke it down to him simple as this. I said, him doing all that passing let teams off the hook for so long. And it made no sense because you saw whenever he played fever ball with Kobe and them, when he got to Miami, whenever he played the 4 and just stayed off the ball and just decided I'm going to run to the rim and show y'all that I'm a freight train, couldn't be stopped. Had he done that his whole career, LeBron James would probably be unquestionably the greatest player of all time.
Yeah.
But instead, I want to be this fake ass point forward. And I'm going to kill the shot clock with how much I hold the ball. And I'm going to bail teams out by getting the ball out of my hands. And now you're 4-6. That passing stuff hurts your team. So, yes, give me Kobe Bryant averaging 28-5 and say what you want about the field goal percentage. I see 5-2.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't meaningless because Kobe Bryant, he got all the scoring championships you think he does.
How many does he have?
Nowhere near the jack that you thought he was. Because look at how much offense he initiated under Phil Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, there was a stretch where D'Antoni had Kobe running the 1.
Yeah, he won. He was averaging almost 10 assists.
And he was hooping. He did the same thing at the 1 under D'Antoni that Jordan did back in the day at the 1 under Doug Collins.
87, I think.
So, like, again, all this passing stuff, anyone who can score can get assist numbers. Because you're getting double teamed. Passing to the open man out of double team ain't a great basketball play, you idiots. It's the right basketball play. Great passing is John Stockton and Chris Paul and Isaiah Thomas and Magic Johnson. Most of all, I think the best display of great passing of, boy, he got somebody open that I did not think was open of all time is Jason Kidd.
Yeah.
That's what great passing is. Passing to the open man because you're getting doubled is not great passing. LeBron, Luka, James Harden, Cade Cunningham. By the way, I told you this was coming, so I forgot to put the Pistons on this rundown. Want to be down 3-1 to the Magic. What's Cade's turnover number, Sean?
It's high.
He's averaging 6 a game.
Mm-hmm.
He had 8 last night. You want to tell me to stop complaining about point guards again?
That is tough. And they had him playing off the ball at in the fourth quarter with Jenkins at the point guard position. I do think, though, my personal opinion is he's forcing it because he knows he don't have another guy with him.
No. Forget all that.
No, it's true. He don't have another guy.
You're right. But if you got Jenkins next to him, he don't have to do all that. And instead of wasting possessions with turnovers, trying to be a passer, he can just go score. Am I wrong?
No, and that's what they need in the series. You know this. Yeah, they need him just to. He needs to go for 40 for them to win.
So when Luka got strapped by them Celtics, did we not see him trying to pass too much in that series? I know that's what I saw.
No, I saw Jaylen Brown strap him up.
That too.
Yeah.
But I saw Luka trying to be on some passing stuff and let Kyrie be the 2 guard.
Yeah.
Now, all postseason long, Luka had been scoring, and they had a good combo guard dynamic going. They were unstoppable. Finals come now. He wants to come up off the ball and can't do anything. Cade Cunningham with these turnovers. James Harden, all that fake-ass point guard stuff. And the best chance he ever had to win a championship was when he got a real point guard, Chris Paul. Then Chris Paul gets hurt. What does James Harden do? Lets his team go on to miss 26 consecutive threes against the Warriors in a closeout game. So y'all going to stop telling me the point guard doesn't matter. I rest my case.
By the way, James Harden, I'm probably going to go to the Eastern Conference Finals out of that bracket.
I don't know. I don't know if Orlando is playing up to its potential right now.
They are playing like they were supposed to be playing.
I can see Jalen Suggs and Anthony Black giving Donovan and Harden fits. And if those two can't get going, no one gets going in Cleveland. I would probably bet the plus money on Orlando in that series, to be honest with you.
We'll get there. I would say this. The best in my time, 41 years old, that I've seen postseason watching playoffs is when Hakeem, Shaq, and Duncan were in domination mode come postseason. Like all that, Shaq could pass the double teams. Duncan was a better passer, and Hakeem was the better all-around player than both of them, right? But I do think that when it comes postseason, I agree with you. And I've heard for years that the Nuggets are at the best when Jokic is passing the ball, blah, 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 blah. And and teams want to make him a scorer. But I do think in certain postseasons, certain rounds, certain series, I need a 40, 10, and 5 game from Jokic.
And that's why teams get cooked, because they think letting him score is the answer. No. No. You're letting him get going, and then at some point you have to double team, and now he gets open pass out of the double. What I like about Minnesota is that they have been assembled by the same guy who assembled the Nuggets.
Yeah.
And he knows.
He knows.
Let him pass. That's what we're going to do. We want him to pass. Make these other guys beat you. Who can go one-on-one besides Jamal Murray on the Nuggets?
No one.
No one.
No one. They don't have another baller there.
Why do we want him scoring? No. Let them score. And now here you go. And again, no interior defense without Aaron Gordon. Jokic, I'm seeing him play so lazy. At some point, when is defense going to matter? And it's just so perfect timing, because I just saw a whole bunch of young and dumb idiots on a start bench cut or whatever. No, they asked who was the worst out of Shaq, Kareem, Olajuwon, and Jokic. Like it was even a discussion. It's clearly Jokic.
Yeah, Jokic is the worst.
Clearly Jokic. It's not even a conversation. You know why? Because Hakeem's the all-time leader in blocks. You weren't scoring down on Kareem, and he was rebounding. And Shaq actually played defense when it mattered. Playoffs came, but we got to stop looking at regular season Shaquille O'Neal. There was literally, in LA, because he played defense in the regular seasons in Orlando. When he got to LA and he got big, Phil Jackson's whole thing was, I got to save him for the playoffs where he's going to get beat up. I just want him spending the whole regular season getting warmed up so he can be the diesel come to playoffs. And come to playoffs, he's out there swatting shots and dunking on 2 people at one time. No defense from Nikola Jokic. It's not in that conversation with those guys. And he's by far the slowest and least athletic.
Yeah, Jokic is not the same as, I don't put him above Chamberlain, Kareem, Wilt, Russell, Hakeem, or Shaq.
I'll put him over Bill Russell. I'll put him over Bill Russell. But yeah.
I think that could be argument. But he's in that 6-7 range of greatest centers of all time. But I agree with you 100%. I can't really disagree with you. I need to see Jokic, and I gotta give Rudy Gobert his credit. We talked about it a little bit. He's played really good defense, and we gotta give him credit. The toughest series.
Scared of Jokic.
Yeah, in the last two
defense is all mental. That's all it is. It's mental.
He's not scared of him at all. And this series alone made me realize, I'm like, all right, let's give him some more credit. Do I think he's a $200 million worth center? No, but Jokic is the best player. And I saw Nick Wright say this. And I hate to quote Nick Wright because I think he's a goofy, but I do think this type of series, we got to start putting in question, is Jokic the best player in the league? because if they win the series, it's an asterisk because they wasn't going to win the series if yeah
They were home. They were home last night if the Wolves are healthy.
if the Wolves is healthy. So you can win the series, but it means nothing to me because we know the Wolves don't care. They're not scared of you, and they think they're better than you, and they've proven it over the 2 postseason series. So they can win. I think they might actually come back and win the series, but it won't matter to me what they do. So, and they lose. Oh my gosh! But I do think if they lose this series, the real conversation about the best player in the league needs to change, and it probably go to Shea to me. I can't lie because if he wins another title or Wemby, because I think Wemby.
It's Wemby. It's not Shea.
Yeah, Wemby has
We
the
ain't
best
never
player.
get none of that credit for me. You just go stop that right now.
Damn, but we're giving Wemby at 20. Well, LeBron took it at a young age. Yeah, okay. Oh, yeah. I couldn't disagree. Wemby would be the best player in the NBA.
No, I mean, I look at this shit. I remember game 2 when they were up 14. I'm on Xbox with my brother and our homeboys. And like, well, this game over. They about to work Minnesota. I said, y'all ain't been watching NBA the last 3 years. So check back with me. I told him, check back with me in 10 minutes. I said, check back with me in 10 minutes and see if you're still singing that same song. Minnesota ain't afraid of these boys. They got their number. Trust me. And the crowd is hyped, and Murray's having a good game. This Murray couldn't miss a 3 in the first half. Said, all right, Ant's going to see that Jamal Murray is turned up, and he's going to dive into his bag. Just watch. Just watch. 10 minutes later. Oh, damn. Wow, you was right. Yeah, I know. And Minnesota wound up winning that game. They were down 19 or 15, my fault, and won that game. And now, fast forward, Ayo Dosunmu?
Boy, I didn't know
he had this in him when him and Kofi Coburn were at Illinois. Yo, what? Man, I'm telling man, I feel bad for Bulls fans. My pops and one of my best friends are Bulls fans. I was talking to them after that game. I said, yo, because my boy Mike tried to tell me, he's like, yo, losing Dosunmu hurts. I'm like, yo, I know you like him. And he probably played hard and looked good on a bad team. I don't know if he all that, Mike. I'm be honest with you. Boy, did I text him apologize. And I said, man, I didn't know he had it like this, bro. Goodness gracious. And here go my pops. Of course, he's with the Bulls. Can't nobody do nothing here. This is what happens. You leave a bad team to go somewhere where you know you stand a chance, and you start being your best self. I'm like, man, Jerry Reinsdorf, you got 17, bro. I mean,
yeah. He looks like he can. I looked out, I was like, man, maybe
so
that.
Now you got to add Dosunmu to that list of Levine and DeRozan and Lonzo and Vucevic and all those guys that you didn't get a single first round pick for.
But yeah, oof. The only thing that's bright on the bright side for the Bulls.
Kobe White.
The only thing that's a bright side for the Bulls is that they're going to have a whole new regime going forward, but they're going to still have the same ownership. So I don't know if that makes any difference. Same ownership. So I don't know. It's bad in Chicago, but yeah, Jokic needs to ball out, and yeah, I think especially if they make a finals run or West Conference finals run, Wemby's the best player in the league.
And the thing is, though, we do have to also just remember they only look like this against Minnesota.
Yeah, because they played really good against the Thunder last year.
They played good against OKC. They played great against the Spurs. They only look like this against Minnesota.
But Minnesota has besides this year, the other game plans, they usually have Towns or Reed double team with Gobert. So they had the 2 7-footers on them. But this year, they're letting Gobert go 1-on-1 on her, and he's outplayed him for the most part of the series. Like
he waiting, because when he used to cook Rudy, it was because he'd catch and go instantly. Now he's catching and waiting for a pass and letting Rudy get set. And then trying to go up on him. Go! Attack Rudy. You know Rudy can't move his feet. Go!
My only concern with Denver, and if Denver loses this series, they have to really do some self-evaluation. The Murray-Jokic combination is cool, but I still you haven't developed. I think it hurts guys like Michael, MPJ, Peyton Watson, those guys. You have to develop something else besides those guys. Just running the pick and roll,
I
the
mean,
high.
when
There's balls.
Jokic was out, wasn't Peyton Watson?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, and look what MPJ did in Brooklyn. I really think they have to develop a new way of playing the game of basketball to be a championship team. Because that way, if you lose the game, because they're not going to, I don't think they win the finals this year. I don't think they're the best team in the league. So you got to figure out another way, and you got to figure out it through someone else.
Like Watson is hurt, but you ain't got nobody else to fill that role. Tim Hardaway Jr. can't give you that. And I got one more issue. You got rid of the Michael Porter contract just to give Christian Brown a contract that's equally as bad.
What's the contract? Is he a free agent?
No. 5 years, $125 million. To do what?
To do what? Yeah. Like that's not a good contract.
$25 million to do what? And Cam Johnson's at $21 million, I want to say. But that was the cost of doing the Porter trade. And that saved you money, actually. So that's fine. In what world is Christian Brown worth $25 million?
Well, that's actually third, fourth starter money now in the NBA. And now if you think about it, wasn't MPJ getting 30-something million?
Yeah.
So
but no, you can't. No, when you traded him in return for Cam Johnson's $21 million, that was the okay part. You can't then add $25 million to Christian Brown.
Yeah,
that $25 million got to go to somebody who can do something.
The problem is that $25 million might have X you out of keeping Peyton Watson as a free agent this season, this summer. And Peyton Watson's a better player than Christian Brown. Yeah. And let's call a spade.
Yeah, contracts in Denver, man.
Cam Johnson has not even played like Phoenix Cam Johnson.
Yeah, he ain't been that guy.
He ain't been that guy. Yeah, he's been stealing money for the most part of this season. He had a good game last night. I'll give him credit, but he's been stealing money for the most part.
From three though. I'm listen. 8 for 13 is cool, Cam Johnson. I ain't paying you to go 2 for 7 if you go 8 for 13. I'm paying you to go 3 for 7, 4 for 7.
I'm paying you to guard the best player on the other team and be an effective defensive player. That's what I'm paying you for.
Yeah.
And he has not been that guy. So he's not been Phoenix. Like what I'm saying, he hasn't even been Phoenix.
Hey, that's what playing bad basketball does to you. It'll corrupt you. You spent enough time in Brooklyn.
Yeah, it's I don't know. Denver has some issues.
Sean, let's go to the base. Steve Kerr's future is apparently in limbo. We don't know if he's going to be back next year or not. He's won 4 titles, got 2 Western Conference Final wins on top of that in his 12 years as head coach of the Warriors. Apparently, they don't want Steve Kerr to come back for some swan song. They want him to come back with a renewed sense of urgency to go win and have some serious changes and a detailed plan of how to get the Warriors one more championship. Don't know if he's got it in him.
The way he was sounding this season, he sounded like it was a swan song, the last dance, saying he didn't. This is the first time I've seen a coach not really evoke hope in his team. And I know Draymond's gone on his podcast is like, well, he's being honest, but I think some of that stuff could be left unsaid. Especially if your guy Steph Curry is still a top 15 player. Go ahead.
Go back. And Draymond said what?
That some of the stuff that he agreed with Steve Kerr about, like it was okay that we're in our last day, we're out of our championship window or whatever the case may be. I forgot the quotes.
Hold on. No. Ain't this the same dude who come out every year guaranteeing the Warriors going to win a championship? Then they going to have talking trash on behalf of Stephen Curry, who ain't asking you to do it at all. Now, Steve's being honest. Get the hell out of here, man. Yo, he is a clown. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I just think I agree with the ownership. First of all, the owner, Lakem, is very competitive. Dunleavy is competitive. I want a coach who believes we have a chance to win an NBA championship. or why are we spending? Why are we giving all? Why we have these assets? Why do we have all these older players? If I want that, let's just trade them all. And actually, I was playing 2K last night, the Celtics versus the Warriors with the all no injury free rosters. With Butler, they bring Porzingis back on a short term deal. Steph, Draymond, I think you even said it. Moody, Melton. It's an intriguing team. It's an intriguing team. I'm not gonna lie. Is it better than OKC and San Antonio? No, because they're young and athletic. But it's intriguing. And I just think that, and maybe go get LeBron too. I think that Steve has had this finality mindset, and maybe he's off to a political career, and he's already thinking about more important issues than basketball. But if my organization's worth $10 billion, whatever the case may be, I'm invested in it. I need you to be invested in it. So I'm not mad. Or let's hire Jerry Stackhouse or Terry Stotts or someone on that bench. Hire someone else. But there has to be a renewed sense of purpose, and we have a chance to win. And Steve hasn't brought that a couple of years. So I do think he'll come back. I think he's going to see it through with Steph and Draymond. But I do agree. I don't want you coming back thinking, oh, well, we're just going to ride out these last couple of years. No, we're here to compete. And if you're not here to compete, we got to bring in some young blood. New blood, excuse me.
I've been complaining about Steve Kerr and his coaching about 2-3 seasons now. And you got to move on. Steph's at the point where his body's going to start giving out on him. Draymond can't give you anything offensively anymore. Kuminga left and instantly got better. You chose to keep Draymond and lose Clay for nothing over Jordan Poole, who was promising for you before Draymond turned him into damaged goods. You just mishandled so much in your franchise since that last championship that it's almost impossible to recover from it. You've got injuries that are going to keep you from being anything next season because Jimmy Butler's going to be out for a good portion next year. Moses Moody probably doesn't play at all next year. Who knows if you're getting Porzingis back because you don't have the bird rights to him. So he cannot come back on the same salary that he has now. You're not going anywhere. The James Wiseman pick looks worse and worse every year, but that's hindsight is 2020. Back then, I was saying Wiseman was the pick, so I ain't gonna kill him too much on that. But it looks worse and worse each year.
Well, who are they going to take? LaMelo?
I've always said Steph's last few years of his career should be spent at the 2. It probably would have worked. They would have been able to give LaMelo the structure that he needs.
LaMelo's in like year 7, man.
Hey, and we're talking about rookie. You have him from the time as a rookie.
Okay.
You can put your own imprint on him.
Okay.
Yeah, it's too late for him now. Yeah.
I'm just thinking about that guy in the playing team. Yeah. That was some of the most unserious basketball I've seen since, we could go to Breed where I grew up in and see more serious basketball the way LaMelo plays basketball sometimes. Talented kid. Just, I don't know if I would want him as a serious player. But no, I just think it's time. Like, things are meant to end. If I was Steve, he has a big career. He's 60 years old. He's still young in politics. It seems like the writing's on the wall. And if I'm him, actually, the Democratic Party don't really have anyone. He might be the face.
All right, come on.
No, Donald Trump won. It's a possibility, man. Anything's possible.
Steve Kerr is not getting my vote to be no daggone president of the United States. Come on.
You better not have.
First of all, we got to stop promoting that stuff too. Let's get back to qualified people and qualified people only being mentioned. We got to stop this. The presidency is not a popularity contest. It is a serious gig. And when it's not treated as such, you get what you have now. A president that's faking assassination attempts whenever his numbers drop, or you faking an assassination attempt to get a new ballroom in the White House.
I'm just saying, 8 out of the last 12 years, the president hasn't been a typical politician. Anything's possible. Steve,
And that's not a trend we need to keep up with.
my man just shut down my idea of bringing Steve Kerr. Listen, the Dems on life support with their options. I'm just saying, think outside the box. But again, that was a great article. I think it was the New York Times I read about Steve the other day, and yeah, I think it's time. I don't know if he has the fire anymore to be the head coach, and I think those are the conversations. He don't have the fire anymore. I would bring the Stackhouse or someone else.
Sean, what do you think about the Mets' 12-game losing streak?
The first thing I thought about was Mendoza's not going to last throughout the regular season. Just really surprising, but also not. Soto messes up a little bit of this season. I wasn't in love with this Mets roster. The only team I really liked and they're playing better was the Braves. I thought the Braves were going to be much better than they were last year. They had a bad start to the year, and it just continued for some reason. But there was too much talent on that team for not. Surprised about the Phillies. Surprised about what Miami.
Oh no, I told you the Phillies were cooked.
Yeah, you did call. You called me. You did call that out. But I'm not. 12 games is a big exaggeration that I expect the Mets to lose 12 games in a row. But I didn't really love the team, like when coming into this year. So I'm not surprised they're struggling where they're at right now.
There is a guy on social media who his whole thing is calling out teams and players who just ain't taking care of business. He's got Jerry Seinfeld's voice, but Bill Burr's attitude is the best way I can put it. And man, I mean, the Mets' all their issues are perfectly summed up by that guy. And I got two names for you: Brett Beatty and Mark Vientos. I don't know what the hell they've got going on. Lindor, I don't know what he's got going on. I can talk about the Mets' whole season by saying just those three names and be fine. Juan Soto's coming back. That's going to help. I think their first win came they snapped the streak either his first game or second game back. Cool. But, I mean, defensively, they stink. I don't know what they're doing in the batter's box. I mean, it's just bad baseball in Flushing, Queens right now.
And did you tell me, or seen this on X, that Lindor and Soto's having some beef?
And them two got some beef going. I mean, at some point, you got to learn you can't buy a baseball team. You have to build a baseball team.
I think that's the missing part. What people think about the Dodgers. Yes, they spend a lot of money, but they build a foundation first with young guys in development, and then they were able to supplement those guys. So
they might be getting ready to pay for it. Like, I'm not worried about Ohtani slump. That's fine. But Roki Sasaki, he ain't worth that contract.
No, he looks like a high pay reliever. Like in short stints, he needs to be a high paying reliever. I do think that I'm okay with the Mets Steve Cohen's approach because that's the way I grew up with Steinbrenner's approach. I'm not mad at that approach, and I love the general manager they brought from Milwaukee. It's just
spending money to spend money don't work. You got to spend money on the right players.
Juan was the right player. Lindor at the time was the right player. I don't think Lindor has lived up to. The problem is Lindor hasn't lived up to being. At the time, he was the top 3 shortstop in baseball. He hasn't aged well with that contract. And I don't love their pitching staff. I do think patience. I think money with development is the way to go. Follow the Dodgers. You got to pick a window. You either go all in with money or go first or development. You can't do both. And I think with the Mets, they're trying to do both. Figure out a path forward and then supplement the parts. I will always do development first. Then when I'm like, oh, we're close. We need a right fielder. We need a pitcher. We need this, and we have the resources to go get that. That's the way you build a
That's how you
baseball
build
team.
any sports team.
Yeah, it's the best way to do it.
And then the Orioles, same old Orioles. Team ERA is in the dumps. Team batting average is in the dumps. Rushman's looked great since he came back from the IL. Sam Basayo's hot right now, but Trevor Rogers has regressed. Kyle Bradish is who I thought he was. The rest of the lineup stinks. Pete Alonso still ain't hitting nothing. Colton Cowser is the worst hitter in baseball since July 16.
I think the problem with the Orioles, first of all, is like you said, it's the general manager, because 2 years ago that team, I was they're set up to be a contender, and now in that division, I put them in the same category as Tampa. I think New York.
Tampa's 17-11 and 1.5 games out of first place. Don't put them in that same conversation as Tampa.
No, I mean, like 1 year they can be surprising when they can't. The Yankees.
No, they can't, because the Rays play baseball. The Orioles, I don't know what the hell they play.
I think the class of that division is the Yankees and Toronto. And that's kind of what it is. Boston, Baltimore, and Tampa can be. 1 year Boston could get up there. 1 year, I don't know. I just think there's too much. No, I don't want to say too much talent. Has the young talent produced? Has it lived up to the hype?
Gunnar Henderson's on pace to hit his most home runs, but had his worst batting average by far.
What about Holiday?
Still injured. Westberg still injured. Jeremiah Jackson's been a pleasant surprise. Never been a fan of Tyler O'Neill. And he ain't working out. Mountcastle, I mean, he's there like he just knows his time's up. Kobe Mayo is nothing. That so-called great farm system wasn't that great. Or, matter of fact, it was, and the coaching and the organization is just awful, because Kyle Stowers left and became an all-star. Connor Norby left and looked pretty damn good. Joey Ortiz left and looked pretty damn good. I'm sure when Grayson Rodriguez is healthy, I wouldn't be shocked. It's the same thing with him.
Yeah.
And I'm sure if Heston Kjerstad were to get away from this crappy organization, he'd look better than Stowers.
Got some issues over there. Some huge issues. But what's their record? I don't even know what their record is.
They are, hold on, I just had it up. They're in third place right now at 13-15.
It could be a lot worse.
I hear you. But the people like me who were down on the Orioles at this time last year were told the same thing. It can be worse. It'll get better.
No, it didn't.
We kept telling y'all it wasn't, and that's exactly what happened. It did get better. It got worse.
If they get rid of Elias,
we have no reason to believe.
If you get rid of Elias, who's up? Who's the guy? Who's the replacement?
That ain't for me to
I thought you got out a young guy, young executive. You had
that ain't for me. I ain't the one getting paid. Go hire somebody that actually knows how to build a baseball team instead of just drafting some guys. So that's all the Lions can do. They can draft them, but then he can't develop them.
I'm always going to Tampa first. Tampa, I'm trying to give the next young executive from the Rays.
I'll take somebody from Cincy.
Cincy?
I love what they've built and how they've actually developed their young guys.
They developed young guys.
I would
really
not mind someone from Cincy's front office. I'd always, like you said, Tampa, I'd always go to the Dodgers front office also.
Yeah, I'm never going to.
Because they've always got prospects that are worth trading somehow, some way.
In the recent year, the Brewers and Cincy has done a really good job this year, but the Brewers have also developed a lot of good young talent over there.
They're 14-13 and in last place. The Central was so great, and I mean, we can talk about it now, sure. It is a shame that it's impossible for more than Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel bad for the teams in that division because the East is going to be a one bid division. The West is going to get the Dodgers and the Padres. That's going to leave. I think we get 3 teams out of the Central this year. And the teams who finish in last place, I'm going to feel bad for. But I think it's probably going to end up being St. Louis and Pittsburgh. And that's probably going to be enough for the scheme talks to start. Because, as soon as these teams with these great players miss the playoffs, it's all right, let's send them to the Yankees.
Send them to the Yankees, yeah.
But he's under control through 2029, so I don't want to hear that conversation for years.
But you know that haul you can get for him right now? You probably get, if I'm training him this offseason, right?
I shouldn't even brought up the possibility. I don't know why I did it to myself.
Yeah, I'm just started thinking our rotations are the best in baseball right now without Cole and Rendon. Jeez, man. All right, I'm not gonna go there. But if I'm Pittsburgh, I'm getting 2 blue chip prospects and 2 4 chips. I gotta get 5-6 guys for that guy. He's the best pitcher in baseball.
Hey, Pittsburgh, you're in 3rd place right now. You're gonna be in it till the end. Be buyers at the deadline and just keep building the team around them. You have until 2029 to at least reach a pennant to try to convince him to stay. Don't listen to this daggone conversation. I don't know why I brought this up. I'm so mad at myself.
Don't you think it sucks? You are one of those markets, and you're on borrowed time with guys like that. It would pain me. I would have to sell it to like Mark Cuban and have a real fighting chance to go keep someone like that. Simple as that.
I'm mad. I even brought it up. All right, Sean, what's going on in the Midwest?
All right, so Billy Donovan, after 6 years, I think, is stepping down to leave Chicago. Chicago's going to have a new president of operations, new general manager, and new head coach. What's next for Billy? Should he have taken the UNC job? What's your thought?
He probably should have.
He should have took the UNC job.
Stepped down anyway. He should have took the Carolina job.
I would exactly think it, because I'm thinking in this cycle, Orlando, I thought, but it's looking like if Mosley gets past the first round, he's not going to get fired. And then Milwaukee's gone.
No. If they upset Cleveland like I think they can, he won't get fired.
He gets fired if they lose the second round?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so Orlando's job will be available. Milwaukee's taken, which I don't know why Taylor Jacobs took that job right away. I don't want that job. Taylor Jacobs could have waited. Who else would be available? Who else? Chicago's available now.
Hold on.
Sacramento's not.
I remember the teams I was saying. Ted Leonsis. What is right? He still have a job.
He's staying. He's staying, man. You already knew that. He's staying. So is Billy taking a year off? I know his dad passed away. He had a tough year, but I would have took the USC job.
No, take the year off. I didn't know his pops passed here. Take the year off.
Yeah, it's just and these jobs aren't good unless you think Orlando is playing much better, but I don't know if they have that guy. But I wouldn't have stayed in Chicago. And I'm looking at the list right now.
I just made myself mad. Brian Keith really hasn't been fired yet.
Nah, he's not. He's starting next. He's going to start the year. I'm looking at teams right now. What teams should fire their coach?
I'm so confused, man.
If the Knicks get upset by the Hawks or lose before the NBA Finals,
you don't fire Mike Brown after 1 year. No.
Okay. All right. So Cleveland, no. Raptors, no. Hawks, no. Sixers, maybe. But I don't know if Billy Donovan.
The Sixers have a Joel Embiid's contract. Oh, excuse me. Joel Embiid's contract and the Daryl Morey issue. Those are their issues.
Miami, Brooklyn, no. Pacers, Wizards, no. Nuggets, Rockets, Wolves. Yeah, I wouldn't want to work with that owner now in Portland.
Thiago's probably going to get the interim tab removed.
But they were trying to lowball him with do you want the Pelicans job? I'm not leaving the East to go to the West for the Pelicans.
Hell no, I don't want the Pelicans.
Nah,
Pelicans ain't even got no fans. What the hell?
Billy, you should have gone to UNC. UNC would have. I love Malone going there. Now more I thought about it, but he should have gone to UNC.
New era in Chicago. That's all I got to say. Let's talk about a rival of the Bulls, the Knicks. Specifically, let's talk about the Villanova products on the Knicks and how they played this series. My boy CJ Walk-em down McCollum is back at it, and his new victim is, drum roll please, Jalen Brunson. Come on down.
Yeah.
He is getting Jalen Brunson on up top and on the wing as much as possible and giving him the business. And it is warming my heart.
Yeah.
And let's go to the next Wildcat, Josh Hart. Nothing offensively. And let's go to the next Wildcat on a terrible contract and the worst trade I've ever witnessed. 5 first-round picks for none other than Mikal Bridges. In what world does Mikal Bridges think he's supposed to attempt a game-winning shot? I have no clue. Why Mike Brown didn't use one of the timeouts? Actually, no, they didn't have one. NBC admitted they screwed up by having the timeout on the graphic. But Mikal Bridges taking the game-winning shot. Lord has produced that. So Josh Hart, you want to listen? I know Stephen A. Smith's an easy target. He's easy to be mad at. No one wants to listen to him. You damn right. I don't want to hear him talk about any games from the weekend or from Saturday night when he was at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Why was he there? I have no clue. Whatever. But what did he say that was so wrong about your boy Mikal?
Now my boy.
He ain't. I'm talking about Josh. I'm talking about Josh.
Okay.
I'm talking about Josh Hart here.
Okay.
Not my boy. Nothing wrong about him. So maybe I need to stop being so defensive. Because I'll tell you what, I damn sure rather have Dante DiVincenzo than Mikal Bridges in 5 first round. I'd rather have Dante DiVincenzo in my 5 first round picks than Mikal Bridges.
Without a question. I think that's a teams that Houston and New York jump right to the top of my line, my mind of teams in Miami, but they're already out the playoffs. Those last two teams, Houston and New York, who will have to go all in for Giannis after the summer. Because what's the upside? Run it back? Run it back?
You got to get the Knicks, not the Knicks. You got to get Milwaukee to take Bridges' bad contract. Or, actually, no. You actually have to give Anunoby for the salaries to match up. And really be screwed because he's just shut down defender.
So
but even then, you still got the defensive liability that's Jalen Brunson. And for all y'all haters who wanted to go at my man Becky Hammond for saying he can't be the best player on the championship team, now look at you.
No, it's true. I've been saying that. A small guard like that cannot be the best player on a championship team. You have to be really dynamic to be the best player.
It's not even that. If he just played some defense, he'd be fine.
Like Chris Paul had the because he was small, but he could play defense. He could have been the best player on a championship team, and he couldn't get it done. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's
he never had the team to get it done. To be honest with you, Sean,
those Clippers teams.
No, he had Matt Barnes and old ass Danny Granger starting at the small forward. Hell no, them Clippers teams were never going to win a chip. He had Chauncey. He had old ass Chauncey as his 2-guard one year, and he had no defense playing JJ Redick. No, them Clippers teams were nowhere near championship contenders. I don't care what anyone says. Blake Griffin couldn't stretch the floor yet.
No,
DeAndre Jordan was the worst free throw shooter in basketball. Sean, go look at them rosters. Them teams were nowhere near championship contenders. I don't care what anyone says.
I've seen a lot.
And the icing on the cake was Doc Rivers and Vinny Del Negro as the head coaches. Them Clippers teams were never going to win a chip. No, I won't even tolerate that slam.
So Chris Paul. All right. So what happened when he had a chance? I heard you saying
he had a chance.
What about in Phoenix?
Phoenix, as time passes, I see that in the championship.
Ooh.
Aiton, Shaw,
That
hold on, and I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why right here.
here's like excuses for
Because
Chris
I
Paul.
just watched this story. Let's go ahead and skip right to it. Devin Booker cannot play against good defenders. I'm sick of talking about it. Y'all wonder why he's no longer in the conversation for best two guard in the league. This is why. Look at this series. Look at when Minnesota sent their asses home with Kevin Durant, and go look at that finals. He does not show up against good defenders. And you know why? Because he saw. This all started, hey, Joakim, we ain't doing this double team that the open runs. Let's work on our game. That's work on your game. I don't want to hear nothing about Devin Booker. No, y'all talking about Kobe this and Kobe that. Y'all want to stop disrespecting Kobe Bean Bryant by throwing all these regular ass people in the same conversation as him. This man, Devin Booker, sees defense and pisses down his leg. I don't want to hear it. He doesn't do anything against good defenders. I see Ant go out there and give your best defender the work. I see Shea go out there and foul your best defender out. See Luka go out there against everybody but OKC, to be honest with you, and give your best defender the blues. Does Devin Booker do that? No. He shrinks. He shrivels up. I'm sick of it. He can't show up against a good team, a good defensive team, worth a damn. Dylan Brooks had to try to take over as the number one option. Come on, man. I don't want to hear nothing else about Devin Booker.
A few things. A lot of those former Clippers have podcasts or been on podcasts. And number one reason they say they didn't win titles is why? The chemistry. Who was the leader of those teams? No.
Hold on. I'm telling you, I have never seen. I don't listen to Blake Griffin unless it's on Prime. I haven't seen DeAndre Jordan in years. I sure didn't listen to what JJ Redick was saying.
And Matt Barnes.
You gotta inform me on these.
And Matt Barnes, but they all said the chemistry. They believe they could have won a title and beat Golden State. And it was the chemistry. And Chris Paul has to take full responsibility because he was the leader of that young team.
Hold on, Sean. You saying they believe this? I got homeboys that believe they could have a chance for Lotto if they met her in person. What that mean?
It was between them or the Golden State to be the team out of the West, and they choked. And twice, 1 year they were up. Whoa. 1 year they were up 3-1 against Houston, right? And they lost. Yep. And then one of the years.
But they were never better than Houston to me. And I'm talking about in real time. No. I'm telling you what I felt in real time. I did not think in real time. I did not think they were better than the Grizzlies. I didn't think they were better than Houston. I didn't think they were better than the Spurs. Now, I will say, before the Warriors became the Warriors, I thought the Clippers were better than them. And then Sunday Showcase comes on, and I'm seeing what Steph's doing to Chris Paul, and I'm like, oh, all right, the Warriors are the better team. I never thought those Clippers teams were championship contenders. On my soul, you can ask anybody who knew me. I never thought that team was a contender. You got to go look at them rosters. What about that roster said championship to? Don't tell me what those players thought. You tell me. Look at you. You look at that roster.
I always had them.
You think they were a championship contender?
I had them right there with Golden State and Houston.
What made you think they were a championship contender?
Chris Paul was the best point guard in the league. DeAndre Jordan was the best defensive center in the league, and Blake was one of the top 2-3 power forwards in the league.
And that was it.
Yeah.
So you had no concerns about their complete lack of perimeter defense, and no,
because everybody.
And hold on. And no concerns about their inability to deploy a small ball lineup. You had no concerns about that.
They were up 3-1 in the final, and then one of the years, Chris Paul lost a game against OKC where they should have gone to the Western Conference Finals. Chris Paul lost the game with all those turnovers and stuff like that. That team was really, really good. It was the lack of chemistry that was their demise. Chris Paul, listen, we're not going to give Chris Paul passes. He was horrible in the NBA Finals against Milwaukee, right or wrong.
Oh, yeah, he got shut down. Absolutely.
All right, he got shut down. So we want Blake D-Book, cool. But Chris Paul was not good in certain situations. That's it.
Can I name some of these rosters for you?
Go ahead.
All right. You tell me if this roster can win a championship.
And Jamal Crawford was there.
Hold on. Year 14, Chauncey Billups, rookie Eric Bledsoe, Caron Butler, Brian Cook, Reggie Evans, Randy Foye, Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan, 11th year Kenyon Martin, Chris Paul, Mo Williams, and Nick Young. Is that a championship team?
No.
With Vinny Del Negro as head coach?
No.
All right. Oh, I know Neil Oshie was the GM that year. All right. Next year, Vinny Del Negro again. Matt Barnes, year 15, Chauncey. Eric Bledsoe, year 10, Caron Butler. Year 12, Jamal Crawford. Willie Green, sophomore Blake Griffin. Year 17, Grant Hill. Ryan Hollins, DeAndre Jordan, Booger Sugar Lamar Odom, Chris Paul, and Ronnie Turiaf under Vinny Del Negro. Is that a championship team?
Lamar was past his prime, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. No.
And they won a division that year. And let Memphis whoop them in the first round.
Okay.
They actually kept winning the division. All right. Again, so they finally played Golden State in Doc Rivers' first year, beat them in 7, and lose to the Thunder in the semifinals. Matt Barnes, Reggie Bullock, Darren Collison, Jamal Crawford, the Big Baby, Jared Dudley, No Knees, Danny Granger, Willie Green, Blake Griffin, Ryan Hollins, year 13, Steven Jackson, year 15, Anton Jameson, DeAndre Jordan, Chris Paul, J.J. Redick, year 13, Hedo Turkoglu, and Sasha Vujacic. Is that a championship team?
Absolutely, because that team could be OKC. That team could, remember Chris Paul melting down in that series against OKC?
No,
they would have lost to San Antonio, but they could.
Team is not. They would have lost San Antonio. Okay, so they weren't going to the finals anyway. All right, so you not championship team. Got you. You just answered my question right there.
Okay.
The next year, they beat Spurs in 7 in the first round. That's the Spurs' first year after winning the championship. And lost to the Rockets in 7. Barnes, Bullock, Crawford, Big Baby, oh Lord, Chris Douglas Roberts, Jordan Farmar, Blake Griffin, Spencer Hawes, year 10, Dante Jones, DeAndre Jordan, Chris Paul, J.J. Redick, Austin Rivers, Nate Robinson, year 14, Hedo Turkoglu, F.P. Udo, and C.J. Wilcox. Is that a championship team?
Who won the title that year?
The Warriors.
I didn't think that Warriors team was that great.
I think that was the year I knew they were better than the Clippers. Because the Warriors lost to the Spurs the year before. No, my fault. They lost to the Clippers the year before. It was the year before that. Yeah, 2013 they lost to the Spurs. You knew they had something going. They lost to the Clippers the next year. And that's when it was like, all right, Mark Jackson probably ain't the team to get them over the hump. Then they got Steve Kerr in, and they won that division that year. That was the first time the Clippers had lost the division in a good little while. That's when I knew they were better than them. And they went ahead and won the championship.
But that team wouldn't have won the title. Kyrie and Kevin Love was healthy. But I digress.
I'll leave that argument to whoever.
It's true.
Hold on. No, because then
prime LeBron.
But then when you say, LeBron got gifted the ring by Draymond suspension, it's a problem. So I don't want to hear nothing about the first two meetups.
Okay, good.
They both got one. They were supposed to each get one out of them 2 years. So it don't matter.
But wait, when you're breaking down these rosters, though, remember, this is prime Chris Paul.
I'm thinking in real time, Sean. I promise to God, this is a real Lakers fan who had no choice but to watch the Clippers. They did not have a small forward at all on that team. They couldn't go small ball. And this is at a time where everybody had a small ball lineup. Everybody had a small lineup. The Clippers didn't have one. And they had nothing off the bench but Jamal Crawford.
Okay.
They could not defend on the perimeter because it was Chris Paul guarding your point guard. And that was a wash, fine. But then J.J. Redick and whoever was the old-ass small forward was getting their cake baked each night.
So Chris Paul had no championship level talent or teams
They could not in LA. No, not in LA.
In Houston, that
in
1
Houston,
year.
yes. Houston, yes. And
In
I can tell,
Phoenix.
and no, that Phoenix team at the time, I thought so. Hindsight is 2020. Right now, it does not look like that team had a chance to win a championship. That's all I'm saying.
It's crazy because I remember us doing this podcast. You were saying Chris Paul.
At that time, I thought they were going to win it. Yes, I know. I'm admitting to that. At that time, I thought they were going to win it easily.
And at the time, I still remember, like yesterday, you said that Chris Paul was already a top 5 point guard. I told you after that performance, he's out of the top 5. I don't even hear him in the conversation. I said that. So
and I haven't been able to argue what you said.
Okay, but you already had him in the top 5, so you can't already say about that Phoenix team wasn't a championship level team. You was top 5.
It's time. Hold on, Sean. Time passes, there are certain things that get better with time. And there are certain things that become more clear with time. One of the things that has become more clear, that team was not going to win one because Devin Booker, as we are seeing now, does not show up against good defenders. And what did Drew Holiday do to him?
Was it? All right.
Drew Holiday killed him and Chris Paul.
Exactly.
And we now see DeAndre Ayton against good centers. What does he do?
Giannis was the reason they lost the finals.
So again, what does DeAndre Ayton do against good centers?
Nothing.
He gets cooked. And what did Giannis do to him?
But at the time, I just gonna say yes or no.
Yes. At the time, I thought they could. Yes.
And at the time, was Devin Booker the best shooting guard in the league?
Yes.
All right. What are we talking about? We had a top 5 point guard and the best shooting guard in the league. What are we talking about?
All I'm saying is history has shown us that roster actually could not win one. That's all I'm saying. Because, Sean, I guarantee you it's a team from the 90s you thought could have won a ring. And you look back at it now, and you're like, nah, they couldn't have won one.
No, that's fine. There's a few teams, like the Knicks, the Pacers in the 90s. Like, I look back at it, they didn't have the guy. Well, the Pacers did, but the Knicks didn't have the guy on the perimeter. Patrick, you can't, you know what I'm saying? I get that part.
That's my point with the Suns right now. The Suns are my Knicks. I thought they had it, and now that I look back, no, they did not have somebody who actually wants to score against good defenders, and they did not have a big fella that play interior defense. And I'm be honest with you though, that's the front office's own fault. Because remember, DeAndre Ayton looked like David Robinson at Arizona, big as hell.
I would have taken him number 1.
And he got to Phoenix, and they made him lose all that muscle for some reason, and he ain't been the same since.
I would say this though. Chris Paul, the year before, they won the bubble and they made some noise. Chris Paul gets traded there and he elevates him to number 1 in the West. They
won like 66 games that year.
Yeah. And Chris Paul was the best point guard. There was no question.
I said Chris Paul should have been MVP that season because of how much he meant to the Suns.
Exactly. So he elevated them. And then you had the best shooting guard in the league at the time. Right?
But now we see, just because he was the best 2 guard in the league at the time, it's some guys who were in the league at that time at the 2 guard spot, Sean, that have since then clearly surpassed him. Namely, one Luka Doncic.
Luka's not a 2. Like, let's not even have this conversation.
No,
come on. Let's go. Let's not do this.
He's a 2. Kane Cutter's a 2. Shay's a 2. I don't want to hear it.
No, we're not doing this. We're not doing that. They don't play the same position. Those guys have the ball. Their usage rate is completely different than Booker's. They're not the same players. Let's not do that. Let's not do that.
2 guards.
I agree. In naturality, they're 2 guards, but we don't like James Harden.
No. Because Phoenix does use Book like that. They keep trying to make them a point guard. What?
Now they do.
Until this year.
Yeah.
They're doing the same exact thing. No. I damn sure ain't tripping on this one. I definitely have an argument. They kept trying to turn him into Luka and Shea and Cade.
Wait. So Luka year 2 was better than that Devin Booker? No, it says that. Yeah, that's fine. But that's
No,
but at the time.
No, he was not. Yeah. No.
Oh, okay. No. I don't even think Ant was in the league.
No.
Yeah, okay.
No.
So yeah.
Since then, there have been 2 guards that have come into this league and surpassed that.
Absolutely. I'm not knocking that. But I do think that also, one last point, we can move on. I've seen Kobe struggle in the NBA finals and his team still win. Like, So and Kobe didn't
Oh
have Chris Paul.
yeah, when they won 7 against Boston. Absolutely.
Let's not call space. Kobe
But
was horrible.
He wasn't afraid to take the shots, though. That's my point.
That's fair.
And he wasn't coming up off the ball.
That's fine, but he was horrible. I look at those numbers in that finals. Kobe was bad. And that's just what it is.
He got the buckets his team needed him to get. And that's
exactly
all I wanted from Devin Booker.
But Game 7, even Michael's son tweeted this at the time. My dad would never have played like that in Game 7, and I agree. That's it.
Well, his pops would never went to a Game 7.
It's good point. Good point. But that's the only thing.
And that's why it's a clear separation. Mike
and Kobe.
Yeah,
simple as that. God rest his soul. I love my favorite player of all time. But I still don't think it's an excuse because Kobe never had a Chris Paul with him in the NBA Finals.
Never had a Chris Paul. Never had his guy. Never had. He always had to be the best perimeter player. Well,
exactly.
My fault. He always had to be the one to initiate the offense. He said to himself, I wish I had a Scotty. So I probably, that's why he loved Lamar Odom so much. That's the closest thing Scotty ever had.
Yeah. So, there's no excuses for Chris Paul and D-Book to not have won that title. I just don't, because there's only one Drew Holiday. He couldn't dominate and contain both of them at the same time.
Had to take over. Yeah.
Exactly. So,
but hold on, remember, whichever one Drew wasn't on, Chris Middleton was on. And for some reason,
at the time,
Chris Middleton played out of his mind in that series.
Yes, he did.
That is one I'll never forget because I used to hate on Chris Middleton some kind of bad. Before that series and since that series, he ain't never played like that.
Yeah, that was the best series he's ever played in his life.
And now he's just eating $33 million from Dallas. Shout out Chris Middleton. That's the Kirk Cousins of the NBA to me. Chris Middleton.
He was making all-star teams, and it was like, yo, how is this guy making all-star teams?
Eastern Conference all-star teams.
Good point. That Kyle Lowry, Chris Middleton category.
Oh, Lowry. Come on. And I'm supposed to respect. I haven't seen Kyle Lowry, Jeff Teague. Shout out Club 520. But Kyle Lowry, Jeff Teague, and Kyle Korver make all-star teams. And I'm supposed to respect the East?
Al Horford.
Come on, man. I don't even think Paul Millsap made one when he was in the West.
Nah, but he made one in the East. Yeah.
He made a few in the East.
Yeah.
Come on, man. And Chris Middleton.
Yeah, that's that should be a separate category for those type of guys.
I've been saying that since 2013. There's a difference between an all-star and an Eastern Conference all-star.
Yeah, because Kyle Lowry, those guys would never
like Kyrie, LeBron, Melo, D-Wade, Chris Bosh, they were all-stars.
They were all-stars.
John Wall. But Kyle Lowry, that's an Eastern Conference all-star, man. Come on.
Yeah, this level sort. At some point, you had to put those guys in the Eastern Conference all-stars.
All right, and Sean, you said you didn't like Taylor Jenkins to the Bucks.
Yeah, I just didn't like it because I felt like I thought he's a really good coach, still really young. I think he got a bad deal in Memphis. But the good thing about him going to Milwaukee, I understand why Milwaukee, it told me a lot of what Milwaukee's thinking. One thing we talked about Memphis, and they still do it really well, they know how to develop players. Like, they could get a lot of guys who are fringe NBA players and develop them. They're going to have to do that a lot over the next 4 to 5 years when they get out of this whole Giannis asset, Dame stuff. They're going to have to develop. That's the key for Milwaukee. Hopefully they get a top 10 pick and they can learn how to develop. He's really, really good, really smart guy from Ivy League school, I think Penn. I like him as a coach a lot. I just think, that's a tough job. That's a tough job, especially if you don't know what you're going to get for Giannis, and then also you don't have your draft picks. So when anybody says about them tanking, what's the purpose of tanking? That's why I think getting Şengün and a Shepherd, and then your draft pick now, start building it out that way makes more sense, because you can't have a full Utah Jazz, Washington Wizards tank because you don't own your picks to 2030. So it's going to be a tough job. Tough job for a long time.
I think you hit the nail on the head. Taylor Jenkins is too good to take a job that comes with that much baggage. That's simple.
Yeah. But he's great at development, so they're going to have to get a lot of fringe guys that could develop over the next 3 to 5 years.
All right, I thought we were about to get off the air, but then breaking news just came in. The Phillies have tired Rob Thompson after a 9-19 start. Feels good to be right.
Called it. Do you bring in Alex Cora? Him and Dabrowski worked in Boston.
Yeah, easy.
Okay.
Don't even waste your time with it. Come on, Alex. Boom.
If I'm Alex, I'm getting 7 M's this year. Maybe I just chill. That job's gonna be available.
Hey, I can take a vacation.
Yeah,
That's gonna be available in the off season.
Exactly. And the Mets jobs will be available in the off season. I'm sitting back.
And, baseball is during the summer too. Yeah, enjoy yourself for the first time in Lord knows how long. Oh man,
he's only halfway through that 3-year contract. He's getting 7 M's. I think he has a wife and family. I'm spending time with my wife and my kids. We travel the world. And I'm
taking one vacation for the whole family. Then I'm taking one vacation for just me and my wife.
Exactly. Yo, you got, and you hit it right on those. That job will be available come October. So if I'm Alex, I'm chilling. He's gonna be the hottest coaching candidate. He'll get a job whenever. It's like Mike Tomlin for the Steelers. He'll get a job whenever he wants to go back to work. If he wants to go back to work, Alex goes do some TV work. I'm not taking the job, but if I'm the Phillies, that's my number one target come the off season.
Philly, y'all started this and wasted your window by having Kyle Schwarber as your leadoff guy. When you had Trey Turner on it. Then you want to wait till last year to finally move Trey to the leadoff spot. I ain't trying to hear. Then you have Alec Bohm on your roster. Bryson Stott is an everyday star. I ain't got nothing to say, Philly. They deserve this. And no more Hunt for Red October talk this year. Yeah,
no, that's done. But also, I do think that's a little older.
And that's another thing. How do you waste that kind of home field advantage? Because out of nowhere it gets as loud as CBP in the playoffs. I'll give them that. And you waste it.
I thought they had the it factor. If I think about it, if I'm Alex, I'm taking my time because I don't know if I love the roster in Philadelphia. And they're an older team.
I think if you fix the hitting approach, the Phillies can be just fine. Fix the lineup, fix the hitting approach.
Okay. All right. If you have that mindset, that might be it. But he's gonna.
All you gotta do is move on from. You only need 1 or 2 additions. That's it. And if you say, "Hey, I got to trade Schwarber to do it," that's fine. That contract. For his batting average, I'm not a fan of.
I'm not a big fan of that.
And you do have to find a new catcher because JT Realmuto's washed.
Yep.
But if you're probably okay, maybe you missed the playoffs for 2 years, but when you're back, you will be back. You know what I mean? Like I can deal with a minor retool with what Philly has going on.
But I understand Middleton. I think he's the owner, John Middleton. He got some pockets, but he ain't Steve Cohen. That's my thing, and I'm like, yo.
But you don't need the biggest pockets. You just need the best scouting. That's it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. With Stevens, we know he can do well in Stearns. Is that his name? Stearns.
Yeah.
In Stearns, excuse me. Stearns in what he did in Milwaukee. He can do well. I have a lot of faith in him as a general manager, president. So I would put my faith, and no offense to Dabrowski, but he's the quick hitter guy. He's the guy he's not gonna develop it for long term, and we're gonna flame out. Yeah. I think I'm waiting for the Mets job, and I believe in Stearns. I got my owner, and we're gonna build it, and I'm one of the better managers in the league. I'd rather build it out that way, to be honest with you. In the same division.
So just wait till October and see how everything pans out. Take your vacation. Don't even think about baseball.
Yeah. That's why I saw the picture and they all was smiling about to get on the jet on his IG when he got fired, because he knows I got 7 M's still coming in and I get any job I want. And if the Yankees flame out first round, you never know.
Boy, Booney ain't going nowhere.
Nah, they love Boone.
If he was going to be gone, he'd have been gone by now. And Booney ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, the owner loves him. Man, I'm not mad at Boone anymore. I'm mad at more Cashman. So I don't have the desire anymore to have Boone fired. It's more Cashman and stuff. But we do have the best rotation in baseball. I don't know if I said that more than once. So I have a lot of faith in us. And Ben Rice. Woo. Off to a great start. Did not expect that from Ben Rice.
Yeah, he's what y'all needed Jason Dominguez to be.
Yeah.
You not say that name. I know that's a bad word in the Bronx right now.
Yeah, he wash. Wash.
All right. Well, we'll be back tomorrow reacting to NFL draft weekend.
I can't wait to see what you thought about the draft. I got 3 winners. We'll talk about that tomorrow.
All right. Well, yeah, we'll get into it. So tomorrow, 8:30. See you.
Adios.